Hey, fellow theme park buffs and movie fans, Eglantine here on both the Homegrown Tourist and Extreme Movie Show today. And I figure, you know what? Hush, okay? I'm not talking to you. So I figure, what the heck? I did one controversial movie. I'm going to do another one, and this time it's going to be Mulan. Now, everybody hates Mulan. That seems to be the going opinion here. A lot of it is because of the politics, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. And some of it is because of what's going on screen. I figure, what the heck? Why don't I check this out? Don't know if I'm looking forward to it or not. But yeah, I guess it's time to give this thing its day in court. I've been avoiding it like the plague. And all I got to say is, okay, here we go. Now, if you're watching along, I am just now starting, and it is doing the logo here. I kind of like the music that's happening, so I'm not going to be sharing any of this because of copyright. I'll just be talking like I did with the other one. I'll talk through it and give opinion as we go on themes and everything. And apparently, this little birdie is not going to ever be convinced that I'm not talking to him. Are you? Are you? No? No, you're not. Okay. This is TITO'S, by the way, if y'all haven't been. All righty. I got to turn this up. I invited my Homegrown Tourist pals to step in if they would like to. Okay. So we're starting off and we're seeing a young woman basically practicing with a bow staff in the grass. And I guess this is Mulan. Her father approaches her. Now, in the Disney movie, in the original, she didn't know how to fight. That was the whole thing. She was awkward. She was being taught how to be a Chinese woman, not a Chinese man. But apparently, they're changing that in the original. I got to tell you straight up, the movie is pretty. I will say that even with just what I'm seeing right here at the beginning, the green grass, even the circular village that they've got going on here, it's a very pretty movie. The cinematography is really nice on this. Okay, so in the animated, and I'm going to be doing this a lot in the animated film. In the animated movie, she's practicing for the matchmaker, and the chickens are going all over the place. It's chaos. But in this one, Mulan is chasing a chicken and causing damage as she goes, not really caring about that damage. And her mom's like, I hope Mulan's not the cause. The dad's yelling no. She is literally not listening to anybody while chasing the chicken. Not choking, but chasing. Very important. Okay, she just did a freaking martial arts leap, grabs on, turns. That was very impressive. Excuse me, let me put those back on. Chicken flies away from her. The sister just opens the coop and she walks in. And everybody's staring up at Mulan. Oh. Okay, so I've got to stop this and talk about what just happened here. So Mulan, of all things, does this thing where the chicken goes into the coop and then she slips, and instead of falling, she turns around, juts a stick into the wall, and is like, oh, I'm going to fall. And then, like, no hand catches the stick, does a twirl and doom. Yeah, so apparently, I guess she's a monk that knows all this freaking martial arts already. I'm wondering where the character arc's going to come in, because she's supposed to actually learn this stuff. That's the whole thing about let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. I'm going to make a man out of you. Apparently, she already is. And now the father is being chastised for treating Mulan like a son rather than like a daughter. And the father's like, oh, she just doesn't know how to control herself. And the mom, of course, is worried about how she's going to marry Mulan off, which, of course, we know isn't going to happen here. They'll call her a witch because she knows martial arts already. Like nobody has ever taught a woman martial arts before this. Look, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, if a woman wants to, obviously, even back in the day, it's just that's not who the character's supposed to be. I don't know how long I'm going to last on this one. I'm really trying my best here to get into it. Hey, Zach, how's it going? Sorry if I just noticed you here, but there you go. I guess I'm doing this kind of solo, even with people watching. There's only 3 watching on 2 channels. Whoops, that's not good. Okay, so the father's telling a story about a phoenix. You know, the statue she broke as she's chasing the chicken was a phoenix. And he says, oh, don't worry, a phoenix is consumed by flame. I'm pretty sure he's going to, and then he is resurrected. I'm pretty sure he could survive a broken wing. And all I'm thinking is, I heard that Mushu's not in this. Is it going to be a phoenix instead? I mean, remember when they wouldn't make Iago talk and all that kind of stuff in Aladdin, but instead they made him a giant bird chasing after Aladdin? And the father's telling Mulan that her job is to bring honor to the family and asks if she can do that. And we get the title sequence. Hello. Hello, bird. Hello, bird. Give me a headbutt? No. You gonna watch the movie with me? Of course you're not. Of course you're not. You're just gonna be loud and bother me all the time, aren't you? There you go. All right, and we cut to the desert. Hey, it's Aladdin Part 2. No kidding. Wow. It is. Okay, so we're in the desert and we see 3 guys with camels and everything. And off in the distance, they see a female figure. And the guy kind of wipes his eyes just in case it's a mirage. And boom, ladies and gentlemen, Gong Li. Sweet. Oops, I forgot to fill my red solo cup. Gong Li apparently, I guess, is playing the witch. Oh, okay. So it cuts to a shadow and we see Gong Li actually walk into the man. Just kind of gets absorbed into him. The shadow, not the guy himself. That's what we see. And so he's walking through this city. It looks like the royal or the Forbidden City. I was there once, by the way. And I was like, oh, wow, this is the Forbidden City. See, that hadn't been open for a long, I mean, you know, it was closed for a long time. And if you really consider the amount of time it was closed versus now open, I was very, ooh, wow, this is odd. And then I look over, there's a Chinese family blocking the child that's peeing on the tree. We cut to the wall and an army of Hun. Oh, that's just cheesy as hell. An army of Hun are going forward, and they're like, close the gates. And they say, take out the leader, and they start firing their arrows and everything. Oh my gosh, he caught an arrow in the air, and he turns. He fires it. This is, I guess, signal for the witch to appear, and everybody starts running, and she starts throwing daggers. Here's the thing. Instead of waiting to get hit by a dagger, shoot her. Just saying. Okay, they don't have anything to run up the wall. That one scene where you see them jump on a wall and run up, they're literally just running up. There's nothing holding them. Like in the cartoon, they had ropes, but this is just the Huns running up a straight wall. I don't get that. But Shen Yu, I guess, is a bit magic. So the Gong Li witch finds a soldier and he's like, "You will do," and doesn't tell us what's going to happen here. So we'll see. Ooh, ah. Who's the Emperor? I didn't read the credits, so I guess I should. I'm trying to... Is that Jet Li as the Emperor? Let me find that out. Oh, Bori Khan. And Jet Li's like, oh, I think it's Jet Li. Mulan cast. Donnie, nope. The Emperor, Jet Li. Yeah. Okay. So while they're talking about the witch, it looks like the soldier that I guess the witch is now possessed is there saying, oh, a witch is helping her and she's powerful. And they're saying, hey, that would mean she's evil because you're not supposed to use your chi for witchcraft. Are you? No witchcraft, right? Huh? Come on, come on. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, and the Emperor made the the decree that they need to put together the royal army. But it's obviously the witch in soldier's clothing. And yeah, she transforms back into the witch as she gets to a... Oh, and then a bird. Oh, okay, she's got that power. Wouldn't we all like that? I wonder if that's going to be the bird for Shen Yu, but he's not. His name is not actually Shen Yu, but I'm going to call him that anyway. I think that's what's his name, something Lee from the Dragon movie from the 90s. He was in the Bruce Lee story, and he was also in Kurt Russell's movie Soldier. Played the bad guy that got the eye messed up. Oh, so who's in charge here? Shen Yi, he was like, you proved useful, witch. And she grabbed him by the throat and said, not witch, warrior. But what's weird is her fingers, as she grabbed on, turned into talons, like bird talons. That's a really good effect. I got to give it up for that. I'm wondering if this is going to be a situation where the bad guys and the side characters are so much better than the title character. That does happen with Disney in a lot of movies. We will finish what we started. So basically the dialogue is nothing. The dialogue is let's get the plot moving. There's no real characterization here. The evil people are evil, and you're getting that from the dialogue. Yeah. Wow. Okay, here's a scene. Mulan is riding a horse through a field, and this is a scene. I actually thought that when we were doing the trailer reaction, I actually thought this was modern day with the clothing she's wearing. It really does look modern. Excuse me, I got the yawns. So the parents tell her that they have found an auspicious match, according to what they're saying here. And Mulan's like, what? I don't want an auspicious match. Hey, Joe, what's up? How's it going? At Englentine, your screen is flashing on and off. Okay, that is not good. Is it just getting light and dark, or I'm buffering or you're buffering? I do not know what's going on here. Because I'm doing, maybe it's because I'm doing two different things at once. Are you guys still getting that? Your screen is flashing on and off. I wonder if it's because I've got my restless leg is really shaking, and I've got to admit, maybe I'm shaking the table. How is it doing now, guys? Are you guys seeing this? Are you guys seeing the screen or not? Or let me see what goes on. Okay, and yep, I'm checking both of them. Well, it's buffering on the Disney part. Yeah, let me refresh this. But yeah, the Disney Channel seems to be buffering a little bit more than the Extreme Movie Show, from what I'm seeing. Okay. No, I just refreshed Disney and it stopped doing it, Rob. Sorry. Okay, so they're leading Mulan off to the matchmaker, and she is ridiculously made up. Even in the movie itself, I didn't mind the white makeup and everything, but this is like a clown's makeup. I wonder if this is more historically accurate, though, because it is ridiculously made up this time around. And she's doing the whole tea pouring thing that was in the cartoon, where it's like, oh, but there's a spider. Okay, so Mulan puts the teapot on the spider, and the matchmaker's like, is there something wrong? Something might be wrong with your connection. Am I going to be I'm not seeing it on mine. I'm sorry, guys. Huh. Okay, so the teapot is falling, and oh my gosh, I cannot believe they're doing this. And Mulan catches everything with 2 hairpins and a teapot on her foot. It's ridiculous. But at least the spider got away. That is kind of, are you on Twitch now? Maybe I could try there. No, I'm on YouTube only. Twiddles is here instead of Mushu. Bad sign. Even Twiddles isn't watching the movie. All righty, Ed. Have a good one. Take care, man. Maranya, are you experiencing the buffering? They're saying apparently if you no, I refreshed or I did the reload, and it stopped buffering on Disney. but apparently it's doing better on Extreme Movie Show. Sorry, guys. But this is ridiculous. They really did. I heard a joke that they made Mulan into a Jedi, and apparently so. She literally, oh, I'll catch this teacup on this hairpin. I'll catch this teacup on this one. Then a second. The teapot's on the back of my foot. All right, so the Emperor's second-hand man comes into Mulan's village and says every family needs one man to go to war. And the family, he's calling out the families. The father's getting his leg brace tied in. And the Hua family, the man, the father comes in. He leaves a stick behind, which is kind of like in the movie, you know, where he straightens up. And of course, he's asked if he has any sons. He says, I'm blessed with 2 daughters. I will fight. I got to say this, like I said, the mother, the father, everybody surrounding that, they're actually doing a pretty good job. This is a well-acted film so far anyway. The only thing I've got any trouble with for all the changes, and I'm glad there are some changes, is making Mulan this incredible warrior before she even gets to war. That, I mean, one of my favorite parts in the original movie was make a man out of, that's a great scene. That's a great song. Zach saying he's on the Extreme Movie channel and having no issues. Maranya saying that as well. So maybe that's happening, which is kind of sad because I wanted this on the Disney. I'll just have to save the video and post it if it happens work like that. Mulan speaks out and he does the whole learn your place, daughter thing. And I kind of like that because this is something that they never really talked about in the animated series. When the father storms out, he says, know your place, Mulan. When he storms out, the mother says, we must be strong because this time he will not return. I think that's a pretty good line. It's they know what's going to happen. That's the whole point of this. Of course it is. You could see it as kind of being on the nose and spelling out what we were able to just understand in 1998. This is actually kind of sad. The father's trying to hold his sword out. You know, Mulan's watching him. Whenever you see your father not being able to be the man he was when he was younger, it is kind of harsh no matter how old you get. I understand this. And being that person also, I talk about all the injuries. I've got my knee. I've got a calf muscle twisted behind my back. Gets thrown out because I point, all the damage I did to my body as a child and as a young man is coming back to haunt me, especially as I put on more and more pounds. So it is kind of sad. I joked that there's a song by Bob Seger called, what was it, 18? Like a Rock. I never understood it until I hit that age. And then it's like, oh, yeah, I get it now. I get it now. So the father shows an emblem. It's got a phoenix on it. And he's like, she will follow. She has followed me into battle before. She will follow me now. You think this might pay off later, guys? I'm still not talking to you. Okay? Nobody's talking to you. And that's the problem, isn't it? Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can hang out. You can hang out. All right. Say hello. It's right there. Say, don't look at my finger, dummy. Look at the camera. Right there. Right there. Right. Yep. Yep. Okay. You want, there you go. He actually hates the hat. He'll jump on my bald head, but he hates the hats. Let's see. Shifu, I swear in the animated movie, it sounded like fool, which is what the character was like back then. Yep. So wait, I stepped away for a few minutes. Are the bad guys still the Huns? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they are technically. All right, well, I'm at the 25-minute mark. For anyone who is trying to follow along. I don't think it's going to happen too much, though. This movie has been getting all sorts of hate. And in all honesty, I could see why. I mean, forget about the politics. Let's put that aside for just a touch and just count on and talk about what is going on. It's the 30-minute mark. At this point, she's already in the camp in the animated version. And I figure, you know, okay, let's keep it up. Let's pick it up. Let's pick up the pace there, people. There was no need for the child stuff. Just start with the matchmaker stuff. That tells the story. That's all you needed. We definitely don't need Jedi Mulan. That's for sure. Now, one thing I do like, however, is because this is something the animated movie got wrong. A lot of warriors back then would have long hair. So the animated was like chick because generally guys have shorter hair, girls have longer hair. But that would have actually served differently back then. So by cutting her hair shorter, she would have looked more like a girl. Now I'm going to pop up this cast here. I want to see who is the mom. She looks so Rosalind Chow. I know I've seen her, but she plays Hua Li, the mom, and she's doing all right. But I just like, okay, where did I see this person before? She looks so familiar, but not. You ever get that? It's like, oh wait, where's that guy from? That guy, where are they from? That's where I'm at here. +1 laundromat, Joy Luck Club. Nope, not helping me at all. Oh well, que sera. So now the father's doing the whole "it's my fault" thing. I indulged Mulan. I made her the Jedi. If I didn't do that, then maybe she would be sitting down. Yeah. I know what you mean, Anglantine. I'm old and fat too. You do all these things as a kid, and you don't know that those injuries are going to come back and hurt you. So you have to make the female lead super strong these days to make her superior to a man. Isn't she Chief O'Brien, wife on Star? There you go. Thank you. Thank you. I knew I recognized her from somewhere. That is yes. Thank you very much. I was wondering. I knew I saw her from somewhere before. But I've got the cast all popped up. If I'm like, hey, that person is. All I know is Gong Li is in this movie. She plays the witch, but I don't care. Gong Li is just like Michelle Yeoh for me. She can barely do any wrong, you know. My mom used to say stuff like, "Oh, I could just watch Christopher Reeve read the phone book." I understand that. Yeah. Let's see. So Mulan wakes up in the desert. The horse is near her. She looks all dirty and everything. And there is a phoenix flying above her. I don't know if this is a dream or not. What's your problem? You sitting here? This is me working. Come here. You're stuck, aren't you? You're stuck here. Are you the phoenix? Are you my phoenix? Is that it? Is that? I don't think so. I think you're just a weirdo lovebird. You know that, right? You know nobody really likes you. That's true. Actually, I think it's just different. I think you could take over this show and people wouldn't know the difference. Here's something weird. They're having a narrator tell you what you're seeing happen. Mulan came into the army. It was a savage land to her. She was Klinger's wife on MASH. Really? She's that old? Wow. I would watch Henry Cavill recite the 1972 New York phone book. I get it, says Maranya. Yeah. Alrighty, so basically we get the same kind of stuff with oh, Donnie Yen comes in. Alrighty, now the movie got better. I don't care. This has got a plus because it's got Donnie Yen in it. So that whole bit in the line of in the cartoon movie, they're pushing each other. Mulan pulls her sword to one guy and says, insult me again, you taste the tip of my sword. And the other guy pulls his sword and says, lower it. And she goes, or what? And Donnie Yen just comes in, kicks the swords, and Donnie Yen's the place. I don't care what movie it is. Like if you're watching Notting Hill and you've got, oh my gosh, I love you, Julie Roberts, woohoo! And all of a sudden Donnie Yen comes in and kicks the crap out of everybody. It's an A+. It's a better movie for it. You know what? You know I'm right about that. You'd be like, Free Willy, oh I love, look right, he's jumping over the kid, and it's all. And Donnie Yen came in and karate kicked that whale back into the water. You'd be like, the movie's awesome. Every movie is better with Donnie Yen. Twiddles is acting like Mushu in the original movie, never shutting up. And I could watch Gina Carino read a phone book. Yes, I'm not the only one. We all love watching someone read a phone book. Now, here's the thing. She comes in and she's very like, I don't know, standoffish. Like, why are you take one step back? You're not standing in the ring. What's the deal? So she volunteers for night watch, and my only guess is that because then she can hide the fact that she's a woman. She goes into the barracks and all the men are sleeping, which is something they never actually talked about in the movie. I mean, she would at some point have to sleep next to, go to the bathroom near, you know. I mean, they kind of did with the shower stuff. But there's a lot of normal things that would happen that would be like, yeah, you're a chick. I mean, I don't know if Chinese warriors did this back then, but wouldn't somebody like nut thump if they were playing around like that? Oh, hey, something's missing. That's kind of funny. Okay, that was kind of funny. She lays down. She takes off her wrappings and she lays down, and this guy kind of sleeping, swings his arm around, and she goes, ah, like this, and he just kind of, I thought that was kind of funny. Don't you shit on my keyboard. Do not. No, don't you do it. All right. Don't you shit on my TV. All right. Oops, I forgot I'm on the Disney Channel too. Oops, I meant poop. Okay. Maranya said she's going to watch out for people who are her swearing in the Disney chat. And I'm like, I do worse than anybody else. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay, so they wake up the next day. And there's a guy who's reading the rules. He's like, desertion, death. Dishonor, death. Bring women into the camp, death. Oh, okay. They gave this guy the whole disgrace. If you are not, don't become a soldier. It's dishonor. expulsion, disgrace on your family, disgrace on your cow. All right, now we get to see Donnie Yen training. What the hell's going on here? It's like Donnie Yen, he brings up the sword and he just starts Donnie Yenning with the sword, which is awesome. But this is a training montage. It's like, do as I do. I'm Donnie Yen. Woohoo! Yeah. This ain't going to be something you're going to do overnight, kids. All right, that's kind of funny. They got this, the fat guy. They don't have him overly large like in the cartoon, but they were doing the whole swinging thing, and he started swinging and hitting everybody around him. And they do the bucket walk thing. And you see people stopping. But all the guys, is that guy crying? The thing is, all the guys are failing when, of course, in the cartoon, the men were succeeding and she was failing because men aren't, women aren't as physically strong. And that was just showing the things she had to get over. If everybody's like that, then what's the deal? This is just extra padding. But it is showing that everybody is becoming warriors at the same time. And it is at least showing a progression for all of them. Twiddles must like Mulan vid skipping a little bit on my end. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that there's a fair amount of karate action. So far, I mean, I've been enjoying some of it, but there's not a lot of, I really hope he's talking to the bird. Yeah, if I was talking to Gail, there would definitely be what the heck did you bite me for? Yeah. Hey, getting hit in the groin is also painful for women just because we don't have the nuts to bust. It still hurts. Jimmy Wong from Command Zone podcast is on Mulan. Okay. Apparently, yeah, on the phones it's skipping. I apologize. I'm looking, everything is moving okay, because I've got both channels open on YouTube, and I'm seeing them move pretty well at this point. So one of the soldiers has a drawing of his girl, and he's describing it, which, of course, in any war movie, that means he's dead. This is my picture of my girlfriend, Betty Lou. Blam! Head wound. Okay, so they're basically having the conversation of the girl worth fighting for. And one guy does do the line, I don't care what she looks like. I care what she cooks like. And they ask her, they ask her, what kind of woman are you into? And she says, courageous, smart, and such like that. Yeah. And they start laughing at her for it. But apparently they did away with the BD Wong character. All right, let's see, Jimmy. Okay, got that one. And apparently they got rid of the BD Wong character, the commander guy, and instead the love interest seems to gonna be the gentleman that's sleeping next to her in the barracks. He comes to her and says, "Are you matched?" Not knowing, of course, she's a girl, but yeah. And he's worried about this girl that he's matched to, and he's saying, what if she doesn't like me? And Mulan's like, oh, she will, you know. Excuse me, almost giving up the plot. I'm sorry, but there, in all honesty, that's a girl. A whole bunch of these movies, even in the 80s, they used to do these. Oh, the girl's dressed up like a guy. Yeah, that's a girl. But then again, I watched The Crying Game going, why is he hitting on that dude? So I wasn't surprised by that one either. Okay, we're back to the training scene. And we see him working with spears, and the love interest knocks the spear out of Mulan's hand. So apparently he was trained as a Jedi too. Uh-oh, we got drums. Yeah. Nope, she turned into a Jedi. She's doing all the twirling. She skips up. She kicks it over her head. He bats it back to her. She catches it. And now she cannot. Apparently, when the drums hit, she becomes a Jedi and she can't be defeated. And the new love interest guy tries to do something, and she ends up like all Jediing. Yeah, Hassan Chop, and then she just wins. All right. Oh, by the way, the Hassan Chop thing is from a Looney Tunes cartoon, by the way, if anybody's wondering what I'm making fun of here. Okay, so without looking, she kicks the spear out of the guy behind her. Then, as it flies over her head, she does one of those circular kicks and then kicks the spear into the ground towards the guy. Why don't they just send Mulan? Mulan will go. She'll kick the hell out of all the Huns by herself, and the war will be over. It's good. It gets a lot better an hour in, says Dragon Ball. Apparently, Dragon Ball's already watched it. Let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns. Oh, okay. Now we get to the bath scene. Which, of course, was made comedic by a character that's not here. Talking about Mushu. Well-placed lotus flowers. Blocking the Disney nudity. Let's get down to biz. See, back in our day, we had Splash, and we got buttocks from, what's her name? The mermaid. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Tweet. Yeah, people were talking about how bad she smelled, so she went to take a bath. And of course, then we have the love interest comes into the water. Hey, everybody thank you for getting clean. Yeah. And he's like, oh, you kept all your skills a secret. What else have you been hired? And she's like, nothing. I'll turn around and she'll show you what the... Now, one thing I do kind of like that's going on here is she's playing Mulan or Fa Mulan, whichever one you want to talk about, is she's playing him very standoffish, and she would have to be, because if she doesn't, if people could get close, they would be it would be easier for them to tell that she's a girl at some point in time. I mean, there's a lot of things that men and women do subconsciously and unconsciously that were just different. The whole thing, there was a bit of, what was it, Huck Finn or Tom Sawyer, the one where something's thrown into the lap and what is it? He shuts his legs instead of opens because women would open. That way it would be caught in the skirt while a man is not used to it. So he would close his legs. Something. I might have that backwards. But there's just little things that we would do. Kind of like in, I can't even think of it. The Quentin Tarantino movie with the Nazis and the guy put up 2 fingers instead of 2 fingers or something, like 3 fingers instead of, yeah. So, Jason Lee, that's the guy who's playing the bad guy. Yeah, and we're with him in his camp right now. And he's saying you're going to have riches. And then one of his men stand up and say, how much gold can a nomad carry? I guess he's talking about they're going to use the gold to get land, and it's for all the people who had been killed by the emperor, including the bad guy's father. And the witch says, now I know I serve you and I am the slave. And Jason Lee's like, damn straight, you better, you will do well to remember that. There is a lot of wait to see what happens. And at this point, I swear to gosh, in this point in the movie, it seems like we would have already been fighting. I feel like the movie should have already been over. It's at the 46-minute mark. So I guess at this point, she would have been becoming Mulan. At this point, it would be like, the let's get down to business is over. They're already going through. We should have been at the what do you want, a girl worth fighting for scene. That would end up leading to the big battle. They really are dragging this movie, by the way. That's a car. That's a car, boy. Don't worry. Okay. No one's coming to get you. No one's coming to get you. Go on. So Donnie Yen has brought Mulan in, and he's saying, "Why are you hiding your chi? Why do you not show us your gifts and your skills? Because she is a Jedi." So maybe they're saying that martial arts comes naturally to some people. Like this is a whole bit of a like midi-chlorians kind of thing in the Mulan universe. Like if you have enough of them, martial arts better than anybody else. Let me see what we got going on. Define better. Is it better character-wise, or is it better because of action karate scenes? Daryl Hannah was the mermaid. Thank you. You are correct. A woman would let it land in the skirt, and the guy would close up to catch. Yeah, that would be the kind of thing that would trip somebody up. I guess a lot if you had a horse. Yeah. All right. And we're getting a little bit more training, of course, as we're seeing a montage of Mulan over the years becoming more and more of a karate master. And you got, what's that song? Oh, I hate it when my mind does this. Who is that girl? Reflections. You got Reflections playing in the background with one of those fife, I guess. What do they call those? The horns. Okay, so now we see the scene. You got Mulan walking up the steps with the water buckets held straight out, and she's following the guys. And the guys seem to be learning the same as she is, which I think is a little bit different. Now, the guys are also spilling water while she is not. Or at least the love interest is. And Mulan walks by him. Spills a little bit, but not too much. Because, you know, she is karate master. Yeah, that's it. Nobody else does it. So instead of using her mind, by the way, instead of using what they said she didn't have because she's a woman, to figure out to throw the medallions around and use that as a climbing tool, which happened in the animated. Instead of doing that, what the live action Mulan is saying is she's got more upper body strength and willpower than any of the men. Men are just born with better and more upper body strength. Yes, you can have a woman that's stronger than certain men, but it would have to deal with a lot of working out to get there, or a real difference in size. Your average man and your average woman, they're going to be different. This is ridiculous. Bad Mulan. Bad live action Mulan. You got this one wrong. The thing is, I want to like live action Mulan. This kind of thing, though, is making it hard. And by the way, I love the song Reflection. All right, there's another village we get to, and we see the bad guys tearing up everything, and the witch is just kind of standing there. She gets attacked, and she takes out all of the soldiers that attack her. Including, oh, Talon strike on the armor that really looks like it did nothing. Okay, so this witch lady, she can change her hand into talons, and she uses her scarves as whips and everything. It's impressive and it's fun. I got to give them that. The karate fighting is all right. Come on, Captain America First Avenger got that scene right. Steve uses brains to get the flag. Others use their brawn to try for it. That's all they needed to do. Seriously. And we're at the 51-55, so we're just about to the halfway mark. Oh, my God. Alrighty, so back to the dude who was telling him that they'll all die if they don't follow the rules, and he's saying draw swords. He made them take an oath, and they were promising to do certain things. But when they got to truth, Mulan didn't speak because, of course, it's Mulan. Okay, so now we're getting to the that we see him walking across the snowbank, which is very reminiscent to the girl worth fighting for. Not that they're making that the background music or anything. And it seems, I'm getting the feeling like Mulan wants to go in and say, hey, look, I'm a chick. Oh, she does. She says she wants to confess. It has to do with the 3 virtues, and he thinks it's fear. So Donnie Yen says, you're a good man, and one day I'll take you to meet my daughter. If she's trying to confess, just go, well, when he said you're a good man, go, you see, that's the point. All righty, we cut to another army on the hillside. They get to a village, and there, oh, okay, a wolf with a spear through its head. We haven't seen that since Game of Thrones, and a whole bunch of Chinese soldiers' helmets. So I guess this is to represent, of course, all the dead soldiers, because Mulan and her regiment are walking through. It's actually, like I said, you got to give it up to this movie. This movie is a very beautiful film. I'm not showing any of a Disney movie, by the way. Those litigious ass, I'm not taking a chance. But I got to give it, no matter what you say about this film, at the very least, it is it's a gorgeous movie. Let's see. Did they do that scene where the leader of the Huns lets two guys run off? No, they didn't. They didn't do that one. But yeah, I love that one. How many messengers do I need? One. Yeah. Give me a strong man, I'll make him a soldier. Give me a smart man, I'll make him a general. Sun Tzu. There you go. There you go. What's up with you? You're flying around everywhere. Why don't you chill out for a bit? There's no need. Mama, look, Mama should be home anytime now. And she'll be like, oh my gosh, you're watching another movie? Oh, I just saw that the screen blanked out again. I'm watching it on my phone also. Did that do to you guys as well? I wonder, I went from full screen to normal to do this, so maybe that had something to do with it. Hey, kiddo. Hey, kiddo, what's up? So the guys are sitting around talking about worried the fact that they might die in the next day and in battle and everything. Mulan says, my father once said, there is no courage without fear, to which I love the response. So, yeah, doesn't change the fact that you're scared. Let's see. I think it's funny. They've got all these characters have the same character names as the movies, but they've hardly got the same personalities. One thing I think there should be more of, though, is her trying to act like a man. Like, women don't know how men actually think or feel. Same as men to women, but I think there should have been a little bit more of that. Like the bit where she's like, act like a man, and she tries to spit. It happening less now, but every now and then it flickers, says Joe Rogers. So I'm glad it's happening less and less. Twiddles is triggered because there's no representation for him, no Mushu, unless you count the Phoenix. It actually materializes. Have you guys seen this movie before? Am I the only one that hasn't seen this yet? All righty. So we've got the army, and they're all huddled together, and we did see Jason Lee with his army. Jason Scott Lee, what is his name? Yeah, Jason Scott Lee, not Jason Lee. That's the dude from the Kevin Smith movies. So a lot of people, including China, are not happy with this movie. I said if. Oh, if it actually materializes. Okay, yeah, I did miss that. Okay, so what you got here is an army that's used to working on the line versus basically it would be the English versus what do they call them? The Jason Momoa's tribe in Game of Thrones. I have no memory, so I'm going to stop talking for about 5 seconds. Dothraki. Yeah, the Dothraki are going down on the English people here. So, yeah, with the Huns. Yeah, that would be a bad day. Oh, okay. So we're actually seeing people get hit. And then they send in the cavalry off to the people who the part of Jason Lee's army, Jason Scott Lee's army, rode off. They're all in black, and so the horsemen, including Mulan, ride after them. Okay, and we do this Old West thingy where this guy does that bit where they jump off the horse and he comes on. Yeah. Okay, Mulan returns fire, and we see more people do the little jump on. I gotta say, I'm loving the fact that I'm seeing these kind of stunts because this is old-fashioned stunt work right here. This makes you want to see a good old-fashioned Western, like a Will Rogers style Western. So they basically kill all the soldiers except for Mulan and except for 2 others that run away. So basically the Hun destroy the cavalry, leaving Mulan by herself. And she still pursues. Into the fog. Of course, she's just making all sorts of bad decisions right now. It was a bad decision to chase down the Hun anyway. If you think they're going to flank you, then you would send your army off just to chase them into their own territory. That was just a bad decision because you have to think that there's a trap going on. Yes, the bird is the word, aren't you? Aren't you, boy? Aren't you? And of course, walking through the Huns' territory, Mulan gets knocked out. Oh, by the witch. Okay. She asks Mulan who you are, and she says, of course, Hajin, which is what they're calling him. And the witch doesn't buy it. And Gailey's home. Hello, Gailey. We're watching Mulan tonight. Yeah, on the live, doing a live stream. Alrighty. So Gong Li Witch knocks the sword out of Mulan's hand. And she walks across what looks like an omelet shell. Is that supposed to be a volcano? It looks like some sort of glass. But Mulan needs to turn into Jedi Mulan. But the witch keeps asking her who she is. And she keeps saying she's the soldier. Unless you accept your true self, you will die. And she's getting her ass whipped. I guess she's got to say, I am Mulan. And then she'll get her skills back. Oh, there's some good warring going on. I mean, people are getting killed. I got to give this up for Disney because they haven't made a movie like this since the 70s. I mean, they've been treating children like children. In all honesty, I would have to say since Ratigan in Great Mouse Detective. So I'll give them the mid-80s. But there are people dying here. This is pretty good. This is reminding them that they made a pirate movie that had people killed with a Disney logo. This is a war. I mean, it's not bloody like, say, Braveheart or anything, but at least they're showing that people die in war. So she hit a wall. She's got the dagger that the witch threw in, hit the binding that was, binding her breast down. So it opened her armor. So now I guess she pulls this out. I am Fa Mulan. I will kick your ass, Jedi style. Her sword lights up. Up, and there's the Phoenix. Phoenix just appeared next to her. So she'll be like, hey, all right, Phoenix, let's go beat up the witch. That'd be cool. All righty. Mulan could beat 10 at a time so she can win. Thought I'd check in and see how bad it is. It's actually not horrible. It's more boring than anything else, LK. Like the scenes that have to do with the movie Mulan are fine. The battle scenes are great. But they've added in what I'm sure they thought were character moments, but we got those so much quicker in the animated movie. Yeah, I understand what it actually is, Dragon Ball. So Mulan gets on her horse. She gets the armor off, which is stupid because that armor just saved her from having a dagger in her chest. But now, of course, she gets to go into war as Mulan. So what? But this Mulan has a Phoenix spirit guide, so she's going to kick all sorts of ass. Some guy throws a spear at her, and she literally kicks it out of the air. Does a flip from a sitting position on a horse, kicks it into the guy who threw it, runs, flips to grab the spear, knocks one guy, kicks another, double kicks, by the way, one guy and then another. The rest of the army can go home. Mulan is here. It's freaking ridiculous. Hey, look, I love the Kung Fu action, but I guess where do you want your movie to sit within this realm of reality and such? Because she is literally from kneeling positions jumping over people's heads. Oh, and they run away from Mulan. Or maybe they don't. Maybe there's just something behind that we're not seeing. Oh, so the witch actually turns into what looks like a lot of bats. So maybe that's what they were running away from. Yeah, I was about to say, you just gather together and you put your shields up. Yep, and that worked, except that gives them time to get the bad guys time to get the catapults, which is what happens. Yeah, a couple catapults into them. Oh, and they light them on fire. Oh, by the way, have you ever gotten tired of night arrows? Night arrows, why would you do that? It's nighttime. You want people to die. You don't want them to have a, oh, look, that's where the arrow's coming. Maybe I could sidestep. Okay, so she sees the problem and decides, okay, we need to cause the avalanche. Grabs a helmet, grabs another helmet. Apparently, she made it behind a rock in no time. I don't know. That was bad editing. Okay, so she's just popping one arrow after another. They declare there's an enemy on the. Okay, that's why the helmets, to make it look like there's more soldiers. And they turn the catapult around. In all honesty, the firework is more believable. So they They throw the catapult into the mountain, and I guess that's what's, yep, she's feeling the ground. Oh my gosh, it worked. Here comes the avalanche. I was looking forward to this. I wanted to see how this looks. Oh, okay. As a Florida guy, I have and probably will never experience something like this. I mean, I've been in a huge, huge wave before, never like a tsunami, but I've been bowled over by it, and I always wondered about like what it would be like to be in an avalanche of some sorts. But if you've ever been standing in the beach and there's a wave that's twice your size coming down on you, that just reminds you of your mortality. Okay, and all the soldiers running away from the avalanche. I like that they remembered to include the soldiers getting caught in the avalanche, and Mulan is riding the horse through it, just like in the cartoon. Reaching up, trying to get her friends out. Oh, she single-handedly lifts a man out of the snow. That's some upper body strength, but we were already established that she's got amazing upper body strength. Okay, that's actually, the avalanche wasn't done poorly. I mean, right now the snow fills the air, so it's a white screen and everything. People say Disney lost its way when Walt died. What happened was Disney lost its willingness to take chances. I think it happened, I mentioned this before, I think it happened with Michael Eisner. With Disney, you had Disney running the company, and he would go, hey, we're doing this. And Roy would actually be the one that had to go out and find the money. So Disney was always going off of creativity. He wasn't going off the money. You know, granted, of course, they wanted to make money. Let's not be stupid about it. But it was always based on the creativity. Disney wanted to do it, therefore they were going to do it. Roy had to go out and find the money to do it. Granted, they had to scale back on a few things because they might not have had the budget for certain things. But then you get Michael Eisner coming in, and Michael Eisner literally said, our job is to make money, and we do that by making entertainment. And if we make great entertainment, sometimes we might make art, and by making art, we might make history. And that was the explanation as to the difference between, you know, like that's what Disney should have been doing and all that kind of stuff. Michael Eisner was a bit of a douche. Texans lost, so now I'm here to try to feel better. Well, I hope you do. I'll tell you what, this movie is a lot better than Cuties. I'll give it that much. I don't think anybody's going to be yelling and screaming about actually what's on screen here. So now all the soldiers are faced with the fact that Mulan is actually a girl. For half the movie. And they're like, what? And Donnie Yen's like, you brought disgrace to the Hua family. I swear to God, what that fucking is this bit? And they did the bit where she's expelled. And they say if she shows her face again, then she will get executed. But she actually asks for execution over expulsion and dishonor. But instead, and this is something that's a little bit different than the movie. When it looked like she might, like when the word execution comes up, In the animated film, her friends step forward and are held back. You remember that. In this one, nobody steps forward to protect her. Nobody says, hey, wait a second. Raise your hand if you saved us from the Hun army. Yeah, that would be that girl. So we see her. She's all by herself on her knees. She's crying. And the witch is saying, you can never go home. Your disgrace is worse than death. And the witch, as birds, are flying towards her. Now, Gong Li has been acting for 30-something years. She's mostly in Chinese films, but she still has a very heavy Chinese accent when she does English. I saw Mulan free on Cinema APK on phone Google. Okay. That was Dragon Ball. Hey, Quirks. Hey, Maranya. All righty. I've been bowled over by a wave that was easily 6 feet tall, and it's a very scary feeling, especially when you can't swim. I can, very much so. But we were out at the beach, and it was just something that happened. The waves were, it wasn't like it was a big choppy day or anything. It was just normal. But this one wave towered over me. And I mean, I wouldn't call it a rogue because a lot of times those are really big, but it was just bigger than any of the other ones that were out that day. But we always got, we had a timeshare and we always got our weeks in September. And that tends to be, or August to September tend to be higher hurricane weather. And when we would be out there, sometimes we would actually enjoy the beach in the rain and in a storm or something, not necessarily a hurricane, but you would get that kind of thing. And I kind of dug it because the waves were higher. I love body surfing. I can surf a little bit. I'm not like, you know, in any way, shape, or form am I ever going to join a contest, but I've always loved body surfing more because there's nothing between you and the water. But if you're ever hit wrong, you could tumble. The one thing you always have to do is try to keep in mind where the top is. So if you're flopping around underwater, don't try to fight it too much, because ultimately you just have to worry about holding your breath, because when it's over, your body will float towards the top, and that'll tell you which direction you need to go. So the witch gave her information, and now she returns to the army and says, you need to go and protect. You need to protect the emperor. And they say the emperor has never been safer. And she says, that's what they want you to think. And she says that all of the attacks on the outside were distractions, and that Barance is they can't stop him from getting there. So they can't, the emperor will not be able to stop him. That's what she's saying. But a small, well-trained regiment can make it in time. And that makes sense, because they don't have tents and they don't have everything else that they would need for an entire army. Oh, and then they have a I am Spartacus moment. I believe Hua Mulan. I believe Hua Mulan. And I guess these are the volunteers. Send Donnie in. That's all you need. Donnie Yen and the new Mulan, who could kick all sorts of ass. Send them in, and the war's already over. Not having any, huh? He's been out for about an hour or so now. Yeah, I put seed in his cage. I didn't drop any on the floor though.
You're supposed to drop it all over the place. That's the way you do it.
Mm. All right, I'm 119. It looks like we're about at the last half hour of the movie. And this the scene you saw in the previews where I'm telling you, this is a beautiful looking movie. They're riding their horses towards the city. And we see the witch dive bomb the soldiers as the bad guys have just snuck in. Man, these soldiers are inept. They are not good at their job. And Jason Scott Lee's men are all rushing to, I guess, kill the Emperor. But the Emperor's Jet Li, so he could kick all their asses anyway. And the witch lands in Jet Li's quarters. Oh, nope, that's not Jet Li. That's the second-hand man. Oh, and they went to Epcot. Oh, wait, nope, it's China. Everybody's going about their business. Okay, you got a line of Buddhist monks. Beautiful colors. I'm telling you, this is a really beautiful film. Oh, I get it. You saw in the shadow, she merged with that one soldier. So my guess is she's merged with the right-hand man of the Emperor to get this close to the Emperor. And the Emperor said, when he was told that Burakan is there, he said, all right, I'll get my stuff. I'm going to kill this one the same way I killed his father. So it's going to be Jet Li versus Jason Scott Lee. And so the witch in the second-hand man's body says, hey, get all the police and shove them right into the sewers because we need to find Bane or something like that, because he's saying bring everybody into the city, from the city into the courtyard. And the guard's like, who's going to protect the city? Are you questioning the Emperor? Yeah, that's not a bright thing to do. She gives the signal, and Jason Scott Lee says, it's time, because he only has bad guy dialogue all throughout this entire movie. All he would need is to raise his fist. I will rule the world. And, of course, it's Mulan who notices there's no guards because she is magic. The animated movie's better, Gailey.
I'm surprised.
You're surprised. They enter the city, and like the doors get locked and you see the people come down, and Mulan goes, ambush. I would have loved this movie. Would be A+ if Donnie Yen would have gone, no shit. Oh, behind the back double shooting of arrows. Yeah. So Donnie Yen is all Donnie Yenning. It is a good sight to see. If you're going to watch a karate movie, get these guys involved. Holy Toledo, Jet Li is curtaining everybody. So Jason Scott Lee shows up and goes, "You were expecting a fair fight." And Jet Li just took out his entire army with curtains. And he had his archers shoot some ropes, and they tie up Jet Li, and they string him up. Gotta say, as exciting as the ending of the cartoon was, there's some really good set pieces and some decent fights going on. Although these people are able to run up walls. That is kind of weird. Now Mulan jumps past all the fighting and to this guy who's swinging a morning star around. The love interest guy takes out the guy with the morning star and tells Mulan, "Shut the door and go! Save the Emperor!" Let's see. Don't forget the Emperor is Jet Li. He didn't need saving. Apparently not. If he stayed in the courtyard, he could have kicked all sorts of butt with the rest of them. Yeah, we're gonna have to take that out there, Drag. I don't usually allow links and all that kind of stuff. So Mulan shows up and says, "I'm here to protect you, Emperor." And the witch goes, "Impossible." So it's going to be Mulan versus the witch. So the witch is saying that, oh, they accept Mulan, but they would never accept her. And Mulan says, "But my journey is impossible." And the witch is like, "Yeah, doesn't matter." So she's trying to turn her, saying you can still take the noble path and all that kind of stuff. I love the way they got Gong Li dressed up here because everything is bird-like. And Gong Li turns into a bird and flies out the door, and Mulan starts following her. Doing the whole rooftop thing. You've seen, they're definitely wire working her too. I figured out, and yeah, maybe I figured it out way too late, but this is not anything but you got to watch as a fantasy. It's obviously that. It's not. I heard they were trying to make this more realistic, but in all honesty, it definitely isn't. It's pure fantasy. And why not? I mean, you watch these kind of kung fu movies in the 70s. It's very much like those. The only thing different is they're not going whoosh, 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 every time they reach for a glass of tea. Pirates Caribbean is cool. Pirates Penzance is cool. Others, not so much. Huh. Would you call a Donnie Yen fight a Donnybrook? Oh, that's funny. That's bad. That was so bad. Alrighty. He's actually talking to the bad guy's talking to the Emperor, and he's like, "Tell me you're building this in honor of your father." And he goes through this whole bad guy speech and says, "Who will save you?" And then he hears the bird, and of course we know that Mulan is behind her. And this oh, the wizard took an arrow, or the witch took an arrow for Mulan. And she's telling Jason Scott Lee that there's a woman who led the army, and he's like, you led her here. And yeah. So she sacrificed herself so Mulan can win the war. And Mulan looks up to the bad guy. My gosh, they know how to pad out a movie. So all we're seeing right now is she's walking into the same building that the bad guy's in. And he's doing the I'm ignoring you thing, and the Emperor's all tied up. So Mulan's recognizing the danger and getting a layout for the entire room. Okay, so he's disappeared. She's trying to climb up to the Emperor. And now we have the standoff with Jason Scott Lee and Mulan in their sword fight. And once again, she's showing remarkable upper body strength. Both of them go flying, but she loses the sword in what looks like, yep, it's melted. She loses her father's sword. And the Phoenix rises, literally with the Phoenix wings behind her. And they're doing a lot of flipping around here. She grabs onto a bamboo post and she starts smacking him around with it as he's swinging his sword. Okay, this is not something you want to be on with it. Get him to cut the thing off. I don't know. They're on like a beam with a rope, and it's kind of spinning around. Not a bad set piece for a kung fu fight, in all honesty. It reminds me of that one fight in Rush Hour where they're on the bamboo stuff where they're building up the buildings and everything. And she kicks the sword out of Jason Scott Lee's hand. And, of course, cuts the rope. And he falls to what should be his death. I mean, that's pretty much the end of him. That was a big-ass fall into a whole bunch of hot lava. Well, not lava, but it was like molten steel. Hot lava. So Jason Scott Lee's not dead. He picks up a bow that's like naturally right next to him, shoots it at Jason Scott Lee, and Jet Li catches the arrow. Throws the arrow into the air. Oh, no. No. He throws the arrow into the air. Mulan bounces off of a piece of wood, kicks the arrow into Jason Lee's chest. This is ridiculousness times 10. Alrighty. Okay, then they show the love interest and the fact that they defeated the rest of the army. But at this point, Mulan's already killed the bad guy, so it's time to wrap it up. Oh, and they did lose one guy. Nope, I guess not. They did the is he dead thing? Nope, he's okay. Everybody's fine. No casualties on the good guy side. And the Emperor tells Mulan, she's knelt before him. She says, rise, tell me your name. They have a fireworks show. Everything's good. She's now dressed like a woman going into the Emperor's palace. I like the music. I got to say, I do like the orchestral version of Reflection. That's Ming-Na Wen introducing Mulan. It's Ming-Na Wen. Ming-Na Wen was Mulan in the original. So she gets to introduce this new girl as Mulan now. Keep going, honey. Did y'all hear that? That was my wife, if you heard. Frankly, I love it when my wife sings. So the Emperor offers her a place, and she says she can't accept because she left her house, her home, under the cover of darkness, and since then I have pledged an oath to be loyal, brave, and true. And so she says she has to return home to make amends to her family. Now, I'm wondering if they're going to steer into the romantic side, because they had touched, but they really did not create any kind of relationship between her and any of the soldiers. I mean, it wasn't really done very well in the cartoon either, but at the end, B.D. Wong shows up and is like, hey, Mulan, I wants to marry you. And June Foray, as the grandma, was like, if you don't, I will. All right. Ming-Na Wen is an, let's see, for a supposed more historical, accurate remake, this Mulan has more improbable, impossible moments than the anime. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't watch it like a historical remake. It is absolutely a kung fu fantasy. They could have wire worked this up like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and still had the same kind of movie. So Mulan is a wushu fantasy martial arts film. Then yes, it's so much more than it is realistic historical fantasy or than a historical movie. So from what we heard, that's yet another movie that was marketed wrong. And now we see her on her horse riding across the country. And once again, great colors, great cinematography. If anything, this is a very beautiful movie to watch. That's one thing you can say about it. And I love these little teacups and everything. I think they're awesome. that people, they're doing the whole matchmaker thing, and they hear Mulan's coming. Run! She's gonna kill us all. That's part 2, by the way. Not a lot of people know that Mulan 2 was a horror film. Mulan went crazy on the village. What? Stab, stab. I just like the costuming, and I love the colors in this film. It's just so such a vibrant movie. I've never watched a film so much and said, wow, this is not exactly a great movie, but damn, it's gorgeous. It's been a long time. I think I think I might be able to think of a film like that, but this is a very pretty, not all that great movie. And Daddy comes out to greet her, and he is looking not very happy with Mulan. Remember. So Mulan asks her father for forgiveness for doing what she did. And she tells him about how she lost the sword. And says, I understand how much that sword meant to you. And the father, of course, is just like, my daughter's back. That's the important part. Let's see. Ming-Na Wen is the role model for playing kick-ass female characters, of course, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., says Maranya. And Michelle Yao might want to have a word for you. Okay, so you're saying Michelle, yeah. Well, yeah, she was in Crouching Tiger and in a whole bunch of other kung fu films as well. But Ming-Na Wen, she does all right in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And the Emperor comes riding in. Wow, Mulan was at full gallop, riding by herself. The Emperor has an army regiment with him, and made it like that. Oh no, it's not the Emperor. It was Donnie Yen. They say the entire kingdom is in the debt, and the matchmaker kind of cries. Like that, I don't get that. I don't get that joke. But and they give her a sword. And of course, it's marked with the pillars of virtue of loyalty, bravery, and truth. And devotion to family is on the other side. And they extend the offer to join the army again as an officer. right. And you see the Phoenix flying around. And she doesn't give the answer. And that is the end of the movie. Okay. What to think about Mulan here. Now, unfortunately, this movie has been buried by politics. And that's actually kind of sad because, I mean, you know, you want to talk about what's on screen rather than what's surrounding a movie a lot of times. I mean, you can have a film have all sorts of problems behind the scenes, but it could be either good or it could be either bad, you know, and I've seen it go both ways on this one. The main thing, of course, recently is we found out that that they actually thank the concentration camps at the end. It's ridiculous. She could kick me till I was black and blue, and I'd say thank you, ma'am. So what did I think? It's boring. Where, I mean, basically all the cartoon parts are good. The kung fu moments are good. But when they pad out the movie, it's dull. It needs an editor, in all honesty. It needs another half hour cut out of it, I would say. And that's the big problem. I think they tried to expand it out into feature length, and they kind of destroyed it. Like I said, we're at the halfway mark here, and that would have been like 3/4 of the way almost for the animated film. It was much more tighter story, told all the same things. You got the characters. This one, beautiful movie to look at, absolutely gorgeous film to look at. I'm not going to take that away from it. And the kung fu fights were awesome, but in the end, all that extra stuff thrown into it did nothing but slow up the pace and kind of mess it up. So even without the politics, I would have to say that, yeah, if I were you, I would wait until December. If you got Disney Plus, wait until December and watch it for free. But that's just my opinion. There you go. Don't forget to say tip your captors and drive home safely. Okay. But there you go, gang. I hope you enjoyed. Gail brought home dinner, and I know she's looking to kick back, relax, and watch a good horror film. So I'm going to do that with her. And I'd like to say thank you very much for everybody who joined me with that. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. If you guys are liking these this is the second one I've done like this. If you guys are liking this, please let me know in the comments below that I should continue or that I should stop, because, you know, they are 2-hour live streams. So if they're like, you know, hey, that sucked, I need to know. But as always, thank you very much for hanging out. And thank you very, very much for watching. And if you're on Disney, have a zippity-doo-dah day. And if you're on the Extreme Movie Show, stay extreme.